Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, may the curse of Allah be upon the briber and the bribe recipient, Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. Today, the topic of my presentation is smog, and I will be presenting it under the supervision of Professor Dr. Saira Afzal. Learning outlines, introduction, types of smog, thermal inversion and smog, effects of smog, detection of smog, air quality index, smog in Pakistan, solutions to smog pollution, recent updates, and MCQs. Learning objective. At the end of the presentation, participants would be able to describe smog and its type, its causes, effects, information, detection of smog and air quality index, and solutions to smog pollution. Introduction. The term is derived from the words smoke and fog. The term smog was first coined in 1905 in a paper by Dr. Henry Antoine de Vaux to describe combination of smoke and fog. It is a hazy mixture of heavily polluted air that can form in cities due to the emissions of sulfur dioxide and aerosols from the burning of fossil fuels, primarily coal and oil. Smog is generally formed in winter under calm, stable, and moist conditions. The term is now applied to all forms of severe air pollution, particularly in urban areas that restrict visibility and people suffer from breathing problems. According to WHO, 4.2 million deaths every year occur as a result of exposure to ambient air pollution. Smog formation. Smog is purely caused by air pollution. When fuels are burned, the atmospheric pollutants or gases released in the air react with sunlight and its heat in the atmosphere. Smog is formed. Complex photochemical reactions between volatile organic compounds, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen oxides, which are known as precursors. How is smog formed? Pollution from the vehicles, factories, fires, and other human activities releases air pollutants. In winter, cooler temperature and dry winds create a high pressure and cool air in the atmosphere. Warm air aloft acts as a lid that traps smog closer to the ground. And that is how smog is trapped. Pollutants react with sunlight to create photochemical toxins. Causes of smog. Natural causes: fog, low wind speed, stagnation of fog and smoke due to winter, temperature, sunline reaction with gases and fine particles. Human causes: increase in level of particulate matter 2.5 and particulate matter 10 in air. We will be discussing the particulate matter 2.5 and 10 later on. Burning of fossil fuels, ground level ozone and fine particles released in the air due to complex photochemical reactions. Volatile organic compounds, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide are the main precursor. Diesel run vehicles, industrial plants and activities, heating due to human activities. Types of smog. There are two types of smog: sulfurous smog, which is also known as London smog, industrial smog, or classical smog, fossil fuel smog. The other type is called the photochemical smog or the Los Angeles smog, sunlight and polluted smog. London type or industrial smog is caused mainly by the air pollution due to combustion of coal and emission of sulfur dioxide and dust. Photochemical smog is a type of air pollution produced when sunlight acts upon the motor vehicle exhaust gases to form harmful substances. Industrial smog and photochemical smog, known sometimes as London smog, more grayish in color. The sulfurous smog is mostly formed from the burning of coal or oil at the large power plants. Sulfur oxides and particulates combine under certain conditions to make it. Photochemical smog, known sometimes as the LA type smog, more brownish in color. Solar radiation plays a big part in this type of smog. Reactions involve nitrogen oxide and organic compounds like hydrocarbons. This is directly related to the automobile use. As you can see from the picture, that London smog is more grayish in color. Smog. Classical smog peaks early morning. Temperature is about 30 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Overcast, bronchial irritation, chemically reducing, and sulfur dioxide burning coal, etc. While the features of the photochemical smog are as under, it peaks midday, temperature 75 to 90 degrees F, clear sky, eye irritation, oxidizing ozone, or internal combustion engine. Formation of the photochemical smog. People begin driving vehicles in the morning. Nitrogen is burned or oxidized, N2 plus O2 to NO. After a few hours, NO combines with O2 in another oxidation reaction to NO plus O2 to NO2. Nitrogen dioxide absorbs light energy, resulting in a reduction reaction. Step 4, in sunlight, atomic oxygen combines with oxygen gas to form ozone. Reaction is temperature and sunlight dependent. Formation of the industrial smog, burning coal or oil in an urban area releases sulfur oxides plus particulates with stagnant stable air, sufficient relative humidity, cloud cover, and formation of inversion layer and thick fog lasting several days, concentrated sulfurous smog, gray air. What is thermal inversion? Under normal condition, the sun heats the Earth's surface. Warm air by the surface rises and wind allows for the mixing of warm air and the cooler air above it. Temperature decreases with the increasing altitude. A temperature inversion, as the name suggests, is the exact opposite. This is when temperature increases as the altitude increases. This is often the case on a clear windless night. In this situation, as the sun sets in the evening, radiative cooling of the Earth's surface occurs. This, coupled with a lack of wind to facilitate mixing, causes a warm air, air layer to be trapped between the cooler air near the surface and cold air at the higher altitudes. This essentially creates a ceiling where smog, for example, can accumulate. Nocturnal temperature inversions are usually overcome by warming of the Earth after sunrise or wind strong enough to cause turbulent mixing. Normal conditions, arrow shows airflow in the normal conditions on the left and during temperature inversion on the right. In normal condition, warm air rises and normal convective patterns persist. During temperature inversion, the warm air acts as a cap, effectively shutting down convection and trapping smog over the city. Thermal inversions make smog worse by trapping it under a layer of cold air. Effects of smog on the health: asthma, runny nose, inflammatory lung diseases, headache, constant fatigue, eye irritation, nausea, dizziness, and cough. Effects of smog. Why is smog harmful? Ozone, the main ingredient in smog, is one of the most widespread air pollutants and among the most dangerous. Effects on health: burning eyes, throat, irritated mucous membrane, shortness of breath, wheezing, coughing, asthma, attacks, chest pain when inhaling, increased risk of respiratory diseases, pulmonary inflammation, increased risk of heart attacks. How ozone forms: oxygen in the atmosphere, nitric oxide byproduct of combustion, sunlight breaks up nitric oxide. Oxygen forms by 3 oxygen atoms. Who is at risk? Anyone who engages in strenuous outdoor activity from jogging to manual labor may suffer smog-related health effects. Physical activity causes people to breathe faster and more deeply, exposing their lungs to more ozone and other pollutants. People are particularly sensitive to ozone and other air pollutants in the smog. Number one, children and elders, adults who are active outdoors, people with respiratory disease, people with unusual susceptibility to ozone, people with allergies, pregnant women, and smoker. Detection of smog. Smog is a visible example of air pollution. In addition, most cities measure the concentration of pollutants in the air and report the results to the public. Standardized measures have been established like Air Quality Index, which compares pollution levels from city to city. Air quality index is used by the government agencies to communicate to the public how polluted the current air is or how polluted it is forecast to become. Public health risk increase as the AQI rises. Different countries have their own air quality indices corresponding to different national air quality standards. Air pollutants measured in the AQI. There are 6 air pollutants measured in the index formula, including particulate matter 2.5, particulate matter 10, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, ground level ozone. An AQI number is assigned based on the air pollutant with the highest AQI number at the moment the air quality is measured. Air quality changes throughout the day. A monitored location's AQI changes with the level of measured air pollutant concentrations. Air quality index readings are based on the US Environmental Protection Agency National Ambient Air Quality Standards to calculate AQI and to attribute code color. Air visual series air quality monitors measure particulate matter 2.5, particulate matter 1, 10, and carbon dioxide levels and use particulate matter 2.5 or fine particulate matter to determine the air quality index. The air visual series monitors AQI using the particulate matter 2.5 measurements as the determinant for the AQI readings because particulate matter 2.5 is widely available and considered the most hazardous air pollutant impacting the human health. What is particulate matter 2.5? Among the criteria pollutants commonly measured in real time, fine particulate matter is currently understood to be the most harmful to human health due to its prevalence and far-reaching health risks. Exposure to particulate matter 2.5 has been linked to negative health effects like cardiovascular disease, respiratory illness, and premature mortality. Particulate matter 2.5 is defined as the ambient airborne particulates that measure up to 2.5 microns in size. These particles include a range of chemical makeups, come from a range of sources. The most common human-made sources include fossil fuel-powered motor vehicles, power generation, industrial activity, agriculture, and biomass burning. The microscopic size of particulate matter 2.5 allow these particles to be absorbed deep into the bloodstream upon inhalation, potentially causing far-reaching health effects like asthma, lung cancer, and heart disease. Particulate matter 2.5 exposure has also been associated with low birth weight, increased acute respiratory infections, and stroke. Using the air quality index level and particulate matter 2.5, 0 to 12, the air quality index level is good. If it is 12 to 35, it is moderate. If it is 35 to 55, it is unhealthy for sensitive group. If it is 55 to 150, it is unhealthy. If it is 150 to 250, it is very unhealthy. And if it is 250 plus, it is very hazardous. These are the health recommendations for the 24-hour exposure, which are given as follows. Smog in Pakistan. Smog in Pakistan. In recent years, smog has become a problem for some cities in Pakistan due to industrial and transport pollution. Key drivers of air pollution in Pakistan include urbanization, rapid economic development, and industrialization. Major sources of Pakistan's air pollution include road transport emissions, both vehicle exhaust and road dust, domestic biomass burning, and industrial activity. Pakistan also experiences air pollution from agricultural burning and shares transboundary pollution from this activity with India. Lahore emerged as the world's 18th most polluted city during 2020 and second most polluted mega city following Delhi, exposing residents to hazardous particulate matter 2.5 levels. Local transportation industry does. Lahore experiences highest pollution levels during the winter months from October to February. This winter peak can be partly attributed to temperature inversions plus increased biomass burning plus agricultural burning. Pakistan's Lahore again tops world's most polluted city list. Lahore, home to more than 11 million people, repeatedly replaced New Delhi as the world's most polluted city in November. World's most polluted countries, sorted by the estimated average particulate matter 2.5. As you can see from the above graph, Bangladesh tops the list, while Pakistan is on second number. Similarly, this is the world country region ranking, again arranged by the annual average particulate matter 2.5 concentration weighed by the population based on the available data. Bangladesh tops the list while Pakistan follows. Top 20 most polluted capital cities 2022 ranking. You can see Islamabad is on 11th number. World's most polluted cities. Pakistan has 6 of the world's most polluted cities. These are the WHO air quality guidelines, which have been revised from the 2005 to 2021. In 2005, it was the 10. Now it has been replaced by 5 mg per meter cube of the particulate matter 2.5. WHO Air Quality Guidelines 2021. By reducing air pollution levels, countries can reduce the burden of disease and long and short-term illnesses. The updated guidelines state that annual average concentrations of particulate matter 2.5 should not exceed 5 mg per meter cube, while 24-hour average exposure should not exceed 15 mg per meter cube, more than 3-4 days per year. Not a single country in the world met the current World Health Organization guidelines on air quality last year, according to a new report. The 2021 World Air Quality Report by IQ Air analyzed particulate matter 2.5 air pollution measurements from air monitoring stations in 6,475 cities in 118 countries, regions, and territories. The WHO guidelines were updated last September and cut existing the annual fine particle pollution guideline values from 10 mg per meter cube to 5 mg per meter cube. How to control smog? What can the government do? Reduce air pollution emissions, phase out coal, gas, oil-based energy, as well as waste incinerator facilities, expand clean energy, including the role of renewables like wind and solar. Transition government-funded transportation to cleaner energy, introduce comprehensive, affordable public transport, as well as safe walking and cycling infrastructure within the cities. Apply more stringent regulations on air pollution sources, implement increasingly stringent emission limits with the goal of phasing out fossil fuels require the application of new technologies for improving energy efficiency and reducing emissions, develop detailed and urgent strategies for the improvement of air quality which are backed up in law, expand government air quality monitoring, install public monitoring stations or provide funding support for such to operated by non-governmental organizations to increase the access to real-time air quality information, tighten air quality limits to meet WHO recommendations for not only particulate matter 2.5 but also other toxic emissions with the goal of drastically reducing and eventually eliminating human-made air pollutions. Reduce pollution exposure, limit outdoor activities, and wear a pollution mask during pollution events. Reduce polluted outdoor air from leaking indoors during high pollution events by closing doors and windows and setting air conditioning systems with fresh air intake to their recirculate mode. Use air pollution purification systems where possible. Follow real-time and forecast air quality information to stay prepared for the pollution episodes. Lower pollution emissions, choose cleaner modes of transport, cycling, walking, public transport where available, reduce personal energy consumption and waste, helping to raise local air pollution awareness, supporting local and national air quality initiatives. Solutions to smog pollution. The federal and provincial governments have introduced policy and regulatory measures to address the growing intensity of smog. The Pakistan Clean Air Network was first introduced in Pakistan in 2005 to improve air quality. Thereafter, revised plans were introduced in 2020 and 2021. The Punjab government's Environmental Protection Department issued a policy on controlling smog in 2017. It imposed a complete ban on open burning of rice, stubble, and solid waste and other hazardous materials. The Punjab Disaster Management Authority banned all activities that could make intensify smog due to climate change, including vehicular and industrial small smoke and solid waste disposal, especially residual crop burning. The Punjab Local Government Act was also enacted, which directs municipal authorities and waste management companies to ensure water sprinkling on roads, streets, and construction sites producing dust. Policy on controlling smog in 2017. The government also introduced a policy on controlling smog in 2017. Recent updates. Assessing health impacts of winter smog in Lahore for exposed occupational groups. Abstract. The goal of this research was to investigating the health effects of winter pollution on various occupations in Lahore and its neighboring peri-urban areas. A questionnaire survey, key informants, and focus group discussions were employed to collect data, which including demographic, socioeconomic, health-related information, descriptive statistics, and the multivariate regression model, which were used to examine the effects of pollution on exposed occupational groups who experienced symptoms such as coughing, shortness of breath, eye discomfort. According to data from the interviews, multi-logistic regression model revealed that individuals working in various occupations with outdoor and indoor environments are equally affected by winter smog, but being middle-aged, having a history of respiratory ailment, and location all play important roles in determining health. However, less educated people, elders, and people who already live in polluted areas are more likely to develop respiratory health symptoms. During the smog incident, it was determined that diverse health and socioeconomic factors exacerbate an individual's negative health impact more than others. The potential effect of smog spell on humans' health amid COVID-19 waves. Rapid and unchecked industrialization and the combustion of fossil fuels have engendered a state of fear in urban settlements. Primary pollutants like volatile organic compounds, hydrocarbon, SO2, NO, NO2, which further react in the atmosphere and give rise to toxic and carcinogenic secondary compounds. Children and pregnant women are more prone to the hazards of smog. The worsening menace of smog on one hand and occurrence of pandemic COVID-19 on the other may increase the mortality rate, but the implementation of lockdown during pandemics has favored the atmosphere in some ways, which will be highlighted in this article. And as you already know that the government has also introduced this lockdown nowadays to control smog, which causes all the shops and the restaurants to close by 10 p.m. Now we will be heading towards our MCQ session. Number one, air quality levels are still a massive danger to its population in Bangladesh, but the readings of particulate matter 2.5 show their slight improvements in Iran, showing a larger improvements from 2022, 130 in 2020, going to 104 in 2021, which will be the reading of particulate matter 2.5 to achieve a satisfactory air quality level for Iran, according to WHO. A 100 mg, B50, C60, D10, or E5.
50.
No, it's 5 according to WHO. The new guidelines, it's 5. An air quality index is used by the government agencies to communicate to the public how polluted the current air is. Which one of the following pollutant is measured in the index formula? A. Particulate matter 10, B. Asbestos, C. Mercury, D. Lead, or E. Hydrogen peroxide. Anyone?
E.
No, it's A. Particulate matter 10. People in Sahiwal face difficulty in visibility, particularly in early morning, due to the thick blanket of grayish color haze close to the ground. Many fossil fuels, such as coal burning factories, are also located in Sahiwal. The most important cause of this difficulty in visibility is A. Mixing of small sulfur oxide and fog droplets, mixing of smoke, nitrogen oxide and fog droplets, mixing of smoke, peroxyacetyl nitrate and fog droplets, mixing of smoke, sodium bicarbonate and fog droplets, mixing of smoke, neon and fog droplets.
A.
Yes is the right answer. In Lahore, it is possible to verify the levels of NO2, SO2, particulate matter 10, and particulate matter 2.5 that increased during episodes of air pollution. Has reported the increase in the hospital visits during the winter seasons. The main reason for this may be due to A. Fog inversion, radiation inversion, smoke inversion, temperature inversion, and wind inversion.
Temperature inversion. D.
Yes. A dry and sunny area in Pakistan faced a problem of smoke formation due to which people in the city face problems in the moment. The haze is brownish in color and peaks at midday. What is the following smog called? A. Industrial, B. London, C. Photochemical, D. Texas, E. Paris.
A.
No, it's C. Photochemical smog. The two of the most dominant toxic compounds found in the photochemical smog are calcium oxide and zinc oxide, carbon monoxide and manganese oxide, ozone and peroxyacetyl nitrate, ozone and sulfur dioxide, zinc oxide, and peroxyacetyl nitrate.
D.
D.
It's C, ozone and peroxyacetyl nitrate. A great number of people in West Virginia have been presented in the hospitals with the problem of asthma, lung tissue damage, bronchial infections, and heart problems. Urban areas in West Virginia have many coal factories and problems of smog formation. The type of smog most responsible for these medical problems: A. London, B. Los Angeles, C. Photochemical, D. Polish, E. Sunlight.
A.
Yes, A is the right answer. New Delhi reported a formation of haze or pollution beret visible for kilometers and frequently preceded by a drop in air quality in the winter season due to thermal inversion. The people who may be particularly sensitive to air pollutants in New Delhi are adults who are active indoors, people with blood disease, people with bone disease, people with renal disease, people with respiratory disease.
E.
E is the right answer, people with respiratory diseases. Which air pollutant in the air quality index widely available and considered the most hazardous air pollutant impacting human health? A. Carbon monoxide, B. Nitrogen dioxide, C. Particulate matter 10, D. Particulate matter 2.5, E. Sulfur dioxide.
D.
Yes,
PM 2.5.
yes, D is the right answer. Peshawar has faced air pollution problems due to fossil fuel burning, vehicular and industrial pollution. Many unwanted health issues such as asthma and lung cancer are rising. Yearly average readings of numbers such as 65.8 of particulate matter 2.5 from the last 3 years have been recorded in Peshawar. What is the rating category of the city according to the US AQI level? Good, hazardous, moderate, unhealthy, and very unhealthy.
Unhealthy.
Yes, unhealthy is the right answer. This is the key of the MCQs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Alishba. Very nice presentation. And you have given us a very good recent advances as well as your MCQs, especially about PM10 and PM 2.5 that are really good. The most important thing is that in recent advances, we must add more about the COVID-19 and air quality indices. It has been seen by the Corona Expert Advisory Group as well as being the member of myself of NCOC, we have observed that all those cities, especially the mega cities, where the air quality index was poor, it was strongly correlated with the mortality and morbidity of COVID-19. The most of the cases of severe COVID-19 have been reported in the cities where the air quality indices, they were not in the safe range. So this gives us an idea that the mortality is also correlated with the air quality index, and it is not only the COVID that is causing most of the deaths, but there are multiple factors in the environment that has increased the death rates. As we are talking about PM 10 and 2.5, we have also published a research article on air quality indices and its relationship of with COVID-19, especially of PM 2.5. And we know that the PM 2.5, it is the most dangerous inhalable particulate matter that is present in the air. Similarly, we have also checked the World Air Quality Report, and we have seen that Lahore was ranked at number 10 when international quality of air was visualized through Air Visuals 2019. So the current quality index of Lahore, still we are having a lot of problem with PM 2.5 that is very high in Lahore. And similarly, we have other problems like high PM10, we have more NO2, we have more SO2 than other cities. The best AQI value is at or below 100 are generally thought that is satisfactory. However, the AQI values, when it goes up uh, than 100, then the air quality is generally unhealthy. At first, there are more sensitive people like those with asthma and with allergies and with acute bronchitis and chronic COPD, like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, emphysema. They are those people who are highly affected. However, with the increasing air quality indices above 150, there are other people who are less sensitive. They got into the problems of respiratory tract. There is always a question that do air purifiers reduce AQI? So it must be noted that air purifiers reduces air contamination only when it is present inside certain premises like houses, like offices. It is only for indoor pollution. It is not for outdoor pollution. And whenever we are checking air quality index, we are actually checking outdoor pollution. And air purifiers can be placed in offices. It can be placed at homes, especially when people are having asthma and having sensitive issues and having acute respiratory tract infections. Another important thing is that this AQI irritates our lungs and can cause cancer. Yes, there are many studies that are available that continuous irritation of the lungs through irritation, coughing, chest pain, shortness of breath, increased risk of other infections. And they have also given us the proof through animal studies that continuously bad air quality indices lead to cancers. And this is one of the reason that cancer. Another important recent advances among the recent advances is that lung cancer has increased many folds over the year. We did a study. I am the main author in that study, where we have seen that even those chronic diseases like chronic asthma, it has increased 9 folds in city of Lahore. So these are my few thoughts in this discussion. I would like Dr. Alishba to please add 2 slides, one about the correlation of COVID-19 with air quality index, and second with the chronic air diseases, air obstructive diseases with air quality index. Thank you very much, everyone, for your patient listening. See you soon. Allah Hafiz.
Office, ma'am. I will add and upload.
Thank you, ma'am.